Coach, just looking at this, I mean, 17 man, firstly, that seems to be a larger than normal squad for India. And two, Xavier Doherty, I guess he's the bolter, I suppose, if you're going to describe one in there. So can you explain why Xavier Doherty sort of come to your attention?
Well, we're certainly looking for a right arm finger spinner and a left arm finger spinner. Xavier has been bowling very well lately. I mean, the other four contenders for that position. John Holland, Michael Beer, Xavier Doherty and Stephen O'Keefe. Of course, two of those are injured, and we preferred Xavier Doherty to Stephen O'Keefe. But I mean, the history of India is finger spin there is of great import. So we have Nathan Lyon as our leading off spinner, Xavier Doherty is our leading slow left arm, and back up from Glenn Maxwell, who's been bowling well lately. And of course, it could be Steve Smith's leg spin could be useful, although he hasn't been bowling a great deal lately.
Just as a follow-up to that, I guess, England's success there is based on the left and the right arm. So do you, the two spinners?
Yes, yeah.
So do you anticipate you'll have a left and a right arm playing?
Well, I mean, you mentioned a large squad. It is a large squad, and we felt as though we needed that for flexibility. And one of the comments I've made there is one of the options is to play two pace bowlers, our two leading spinners, and then a medium-fast all-rounder in Moses Henriques. Another alternative is to play three pace bowlers, our leading spinner, whether that be Xavier Doherty or Nathan Lyon, and then have the backup with the all-rounder with Glenn Maxwell. So that's been our thinking, and of course we could go with just four bowlers and no all-rounder, but the thinking is we'll need more than four bowlers. We'll need four bowlers and some more. So Glenn Maxwell is to the fore there, and so also Moses Henriques. It's all been very carefully thought through, those options.
Just that we saw David Warner get injured yesterday. What are his chances, do you think, of making that trip to India?
Yeah, look, the chances are very good. I mean, the early indication is it's a slight fracture, and the indications are he'll certainly be okay for the test starting on the 22nd of February. And what we're looking to do is during the next couple of days get more feedback as to exactly when he'll be able to come back.
As a precaution, would you just rule him out all of these 1 days? I mean, is it worth it?
Look, we'll take more information on that, and we'll announce that on Saturday, but we'll be certainly gleaning information today and tomorrow about that. But I'd say the chances are that it's unlikely that he'll be playing in the ODIs at this stage.
On Rex, you've heard see a lot of potential in him to develop and be a very handy all-rounder. It's a good test for him on the subcontinent. Yeah, it's a very good test for him, as the national selection panel has maintained, throughout the last 12 months. We feel the need to develop all-rounders. Mitchell Marsh is obviously a promising all-rounder, and he's out of it. Shane Watson at the moment is not able to bowl. We feel there's a great need to have an all-rounder there, and Moses is a young cricketer of terrific potential. I mean, those of us who saw him play here early in the season, especially his batting, in evidence then, but also his bowling. So we're hoping that he really comes through. He's got a lot of talent, and being around the Australian group, we hope that it brings out the best in him.
Stand back there.
John, could you let the announcement any longer? Would you like to have seen a little bit more first class of Shield cricket before you actually did make the squad announcement?
Well, we certainly like to see a lot of cricket, and there hasn't been much red ball cricket for the last couple of months, so we've had to deal with what we've got. And there's no Shield matches again until the 4th of February, so we couldn't wait till the end of that before so we had to, there was no option but to announce it at this sort of time.
And just Steve Smith, how have you seen his, I guess he was in the same boat as Phil Hughes a couple of years ago, when he came in, what improvements did he make in his game?
Look, I think Steve Smith has matured a lot. I mean, a lot of his play this year, he's played especially well, although he hasn't gone through to the big scores. but his score just recently in the Shield match was very good against Western Australia in Sydney. We see him as a young player of the future, enormous potential, and one thing in particular in his favour is that he uses his feet really well and plays spin bowling very well. So he'll be there as a backup batsman and certainly to gain experience, and we're really hoping that he's one of the young players that comes through in the next couple of years.
Tanya?
Mike Hussey last night endorsed Usman Khawaja to take his spot. Is he someone you need in the Aussie batting line?
Yeah, I mean, Usman's very much to the fore of our thinking. I was in Canberra the other day when he got, I think it was 69 against the West Indies and played really well. So I think Usman is a very good chance of being in the first Test team.
Just down
John, after Shane Warne's comments yesterday about the way Cricket Australia's run, do you have a reaction to that?
Look, I read his comments and I rejoice in the fact that in Australia it's a free press and we can all say what we like, but I don't have any further comments on what Shane had to say and write.
Maybe getting a little bit sick of how he keeps taking pot shots at...
Well, it's a free country. People are free to do that, and I think we're very fortunate to live in Australia and where that can happen.
Justin?
Just on the opening position, obviously, if Warner is fit, how do you see the battle between possibly Cowan and Shane Watson?
Yeah, look, Shane is at his best when he's bowling and batting. You know, he's a very good bowler, very good batter. And that suits Australian cricket the best, and certainly suits Shane the best, as he's stated many times. At the moment, on this tour, he will be only as a batsman. We don't expect him to be bowling at all. So his position, if he's in the final Test 11 that we select from the 17, he'll be in the top 4. Whether he opens or not is yet to be determined, and the batting order is always the province of the captain.
Has he got a preference, John, for where he would like to bat, whether he opens or...
Look, I think Shane's overriding preference is to be in the team and to bat where it suits the team best. I think that's where it is. I mean, all of his early cricket was in the middle order. I think he only became an opener when there was an opening during the 2009 Test tour. I think Shane loves playing cricket, loves batting, and whatever suits the team best.
No need for a second keeper. There was a bit of talk maybe that...
Yeah, look, there was talk about that, and we considered that very carefully. But no, and we felt that India is not, you know, it's just a flight away. And we thought if there was a need, we could quickly get the backup keeper, and that would be Brad Haddon there.
Tanya?
John, you're obviously expecting Pattinson to be fit by the first Test?
Yes, we are. Yeah. He bowled well in Adelaide, and he's actually been in Perth and had a session here yesterday afternoon. We are expecting him to be fit for the first Test.
You mentioned, John, that Maxwell has bowled pretty well recently. I mean, you yourself obviously know a lot about finger spin bowling.
As you do yourself, John.
Which brings me to a technical point. He appears to be he's a very rare international player who bowls finger spin without a pivot or a follow through. Yeah. Given that he's raw, but the end result, I mean, his progress in the last couple of months, I think since Australia A, has been very pleasing. But are you confident that he has the capacity, if required in India, to bowl well enough over a long period to...
Yeah, he's a very skillful young man, and I think him being on the tour to India will be pivotal in his development, and we're really hoping that he, as with Steve Smith, they're two of the young players who we really hope will benefit and develop. And I think my personal view is I think they'll get better and better. And they're both great fielders and great sources of energy. And
Sorry, just back on Patterson, how many games will he have, or will he get a chance to play games between now and when you head off?
Yes, most certainly. So there is a 3-day practice match, I think 16, 17, 18 of February, and a 2-day fixture before that. So he'll certainly be playing in those. And he's flying back to Victoria today, and we'll play club cricket on Saturday.
If he gets through all those, you'd be happy he's playing enough?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to carefully assess that as to whether he's ready for the first test. You know, we anticipate he will be, and if not, we've got a battery of 5 bowlers, and we're very confident in all 5, and we're delighted that Jackson Bird came through so well when he got the opportunity in Melbourne, and then in Sydney where he won man of the match. So we're very confident with our 5 pace bowlers.
You mentioned Michael Weir before. John, was he on the plane until that shoulder injury?
He was very strongly in contention, yes, very strongly.
Ben House, where's he at with his cricket?
Well, he's just coming back. He's been up at the Centre of Excellence up in Queensland recently. We hope that he'll be fit to play in the Shield match that Tasmania has starting, I think it's the 6th of February. So we're really hoping that he's fit to perform there, and that he really gets his bowling loads up and comes back into contention. But we couldn't consider him for this tour.
Justin Lang said there's a real opportunity for young batsmen in Australia to really take an opportunity and push for a place in the test side. Is it still an issue, the depth of batting in the country?
Yeah, look, there are a lot of opportunities there. I mean, I think we all realise that we're a team in transition at the moment. There is not the depth and level of performances that was the case 10 years ago. So there is a wonderful opportunity for young batsmen to come through. And what we want, as we've stated before, is consistent, prolific run makers. And I'm really hoping that during the next the next 2 months, that we'll see that in Shield cricket. And again, in the Prime Minister's 11, Alex Doolan, who hadn't played much for a couple of months, was probably a bit rusty for the first half hour, 40 minutes, and then played beautifully after that. So he's another young player who we're hoping will really blossom.
Johnny, are you comfortable in this environment where players may have to leave Australia in the next few days, or in the short term anyway, to go there for a camp, rather than actually play international matches here?
Yeah, look, it's a product of the scheduling. I mean, international cricket now is a very, very, very busy schedule, and also we've got the IPL and the Champions League. That's the way it is, and of course that's one of the reasons why we are attempting to develop greater depth all the time. We need a depth of players. There's a huge workload. There are conflicting, just in this it doesn't happen very often, conflicting commitments. We need a depth of players, and we'll manage that as best we possibly can.
I think Phil Hughes has said that he's going early. Are there any others in?
No, he won't be going early, but some will. And what we were going to announce that today, but the Warner injury and the uncertainty about Moses Henriques and when he will be right. He's got a finger injury. He got bashed in the finger a couple of times. It became infected. He's had a minor operation on that, and we're just not certain when he's going to be able to play again. And we're just taking an extra day or two to find out exactly when he's coming back on. But we'll announce that on Saturday.
Do you anticipate there'll be players not playing in the one days who would have ordinarily?
Yes, yeah.